When Joanne DiGesu and Sean Heffernan appeared on 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way Season 6, their whirlwind love story seemed like one of the most unexpected and spiritual romances in the franchise's history. Joanne, a New Yorker with a vibrant personality and a deep connection to her two sons, met Sean, an Irishman with a soft-spoken charm, under circumstances that felt like destiny. Their first meeting happened during a psychic reading, where sparks flew instantly. What began as a seemingly mystical connection quickly transformed into something real, romantic, and serious. But now, months after the cameras stopped rolling, their once promising marriage has crumbled. With rumors swirling about Sean blindsiding Joanne, accusations of betrayal, and public statements painting very different pictures of the breakup, fans are left questioning what really happened between the two. A love story born from fate. Most 90 Day Fiancé couples meet through dating apps, travel, or mutual friends. Joanne and Sean's story, however, stood out immediately. They first crossed paths during a psychic reading session, a meeting that Joanne would later describe as meant to be. She believed their connection was fated, something written in the stars, while Sean confessed he had never experienced such an immediate bond before. Their romance escalated quickly. Instead of taking a cautious approach, Joanne and Sean threw themselves into their relationship. When Sean invited Joanne to Ireland, she didn't hesitate. Once there, the couple made a bold decision to secretly marry, without telling their families. For Joanne, keeping this secret was complicated. She was a single mother raising two sons, Joey, 18, and Jesse, 12, and knew that her decision would affect them deeply. Sean, on the other hand, kept his marriage hidden from his daughter, Bella. Their choice to keep their wedding under wraps planted the first seeds of tension that would later grow into larger conflicts. Secrets, struggles and the family reaction. When Joanne and Sean's journey was documented on 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, viewers saw the challenges that came with blending their families. Sean met Joanne's sons and tried his best to form a bond. Surprisingly, Jesse, the younger of the two, warmed up to Sean fairly quickly. Joey, however, was hurt by his mother's secrecy. For him, learning that his mom had married without his knowledge wasn't just shocking, it felt like a betrayal. Sean's daughter Bella also entered the picture, and Joanne did her best to establish trust with her. Their interactions on screen suggested that while things weren't perfect, both families were at least trying. Joanne and Sean presented themselves as hopeful about creating a blended family, even though there were clear cracks forming in their relationship. By the season's end, Joanne and Sean were still together, holding on to the dream of a shared future. Fans wanted to believe in them, that their quirky, psychic bonded love story could last. But reality hit hard once the cameras stopped rolling. The post-show struggles. After filming, Joanne and Sean faced a major obstacle, her child custody agreement. Because of legal restrictions, Joanne couldn't relocate her children to Ireland, which meant Sean had to make a choice. He ultimately moved to New York to live with Joanne, in hopes of making their marriage work. At first, this seemed like a solution. They could build a life together in the US, raising Joanne's sons while staying connected to Sean's daughter overseas. But in May, reports began surfacing that Joanne and Sean were no longer living together. Fans speculated that their marriage had quietly fallen apart, though no one knew for sure who had initiated the split. That's when the rumors started. Rumors of Sean walking out. On Reddit, fans began trading stories about what allegedly went down between Joanne and Sean. One user, GuiltyFinish3477, claimed they had inside information through a family connection. According to them, Joanne came home one day to find Sean's belongings gone. "My sister told me months ago that Joanne returned home and his stuff was gone," the Redditor shared. This account made it seem like Sean had suddenly abandoned Joanne without warning. Other fans chimed in, echoing suspicions that Sean might have used the marriage for personal gain. One commenter bluntly wrote, "Wow. Get the green card and split," suggesting that Sean's motives may not have been entirely pure. These rumors painted Sean as the one who blindsided Joanne, a narrative that quickly gained traction among viewers. But Sean wasn't going to stay silent. Sean speaks out. Sean broke his silence on James Solar's podcast. James, who appeared alongside Sean and Joanne on 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, invited his friend to share his side of the story. During the episode, Sean dropped a bombshell. "Yeah, she kicked me out, bro," Sean revealed, his tone tinged with sadness. James, clearly aware of the situation, responded with empathy, "That's why I had to take you in, and you know I've just been trying to take care of you." Sean has since been living with James and his wife, Mytalia Solis, a move that only fueled further speculation. Fans began questioning whether Sean had truly been kicked out, or whether he had planned to leave Joanne all along. Respect over love. During the podcast, Sean offered subtle hints about the deeper issues in his marriage. He shared a statement that seemed to reveal his philosophy on relationships. "Love to me would be respect," he explained. "Somebody can tell you they love you to bits and then stab you in the back or do the dirtiest, shadiest of things to you." Though Sean didn't explicitly accuse Joanne of betrayal, his words implied that he felt disrespected in their marriage. For him, love without respect wasn't sustainable. To fans, this comment added another layer of complexity. Was Sean suggesting that Joanne had betrayed him in some way? Or was he simply generalizing about love? Whatever his intentions, his words fueled speculation that a lack of mutual respect had been the real reason for their split. Joanne's silence. Interestingly, Joanne has not been as vocal about the breakup. While Sean has openly shared his perspective through podcasts and public comments, Joanne has remained quiet, leaving fans to interpret her silence. Some believe that Joanne is protecting her children from further media attention, especially since Joey had already struggled with the secrecy of her marriage. Others speculate that Joanne doesn't want to air her personal life publicly, even though she became a reality TV star. Her silence, however, has left room for rumors to grow. Without her side of the story, fans are left piecing together the breakup through Reddit threads and Sean's interviews. A clash of realities. Ultimately, Joanne and Sean's breakup highlights a common theme in 90 Day Fiancé, the clash between TV romance and real-life challenges. On screen, their story was edited into a narrative of love conquering secrecy, cultural differences, and family obstacles. Off-screen, the pressures of custody agreements, relocation struggles, and personal disagreements became too heavy to bear. Their split also underscores how quickly things can change after filming ends. Couples who appear happy at the tell-all or in their final scenes often find themselves unraveling in the months that follow. For Joanne and Sean, what started as a magical love story rooted in fate ended with feelings of betrayal and disappointment. The fan divide. Fans remain divided over the breakup. Some sympathize with Joanne, believing she was blindsided by Sean. For them, the rumors of him suddenly packing up and leaving reinforce the idea that she was left to pick up the pieces. Others, however, side with Sean, pointing out that he claims Joanne kicked him out. His decision to move in with James and Mytalia has only added to the debate. Supporters say it shows he had people willing to support him after being discarded, while critics argue it looks suspicious, as if he had a backup plan all along. What's next for Joanne and Sean? As of now, both Joanne and Sean appear to be focusing on their individual lives. Sean seems to be leaning on his friendship with James and Mytalia, while Joanne is putting her energy into her children. Whether or not they will reconcile seems highly unlikely. Sean's comments about respect suggest deep wounds, while Joanne's silence indicates she may be ready to move on. If anything, their breakup might become a cautionary tale for future 90 Day Fiancé couples about the dangers of secrecy, rushed commitments, and the realities of blending families. Final thoughts. Joanne DiGesu and Sean Heffernan's relationship had all the ingredients of a compelling 90 Day Fiancé storyline: love at first sight, cultural differences, secret weddings, family drama, and shocking breakup rumors. What made their story unique was the spiritual way it began, a psychic reading that sparked what felt like destiny. Yet, even destiny wasn't enough to keep them together. In the end, their love story became another example of how reality TV couples face challenges that no amount of editing can hide. Respect, trust, and communication, not psychic predictions, are what truly sustain a relationship. And for Joanne and Sean, those foundations simply weren't strong enough. While fans may never know the full truth of what happened behind closed doors, one thing is clear. Both Joanne and Sean are moving forward separately, carrying the lessons of their whirlwind romance with them.